NL East divisional matchup. Braves leading the Mets here at Citi Field 3-2 here in the top of the 8th, and we have a new pitcher for the Mets.
Meanwhile, the Braves with a 3-2 lead, and Russ Runnerbach, it's like he did get some hugs over there, so that might be it.
Yeah, I wondered would he go back out because the pitch count has been so good, and it wasn't necessarily that it was stressful, but really hot tonight. I certainly do understand and can appreciate maybe being a little bit.
New pitcher, Reed on the mound. He'll get Michael Harris to lead things off. Bottom of the Braves order as Harris goes after a jam shot and fouls it off himself.
Lead off, but then it's lefty switch, left.
He's been pretty good this year, 31 games, 2.45 ERA, 35 strikeouts and 17 walks.
So that ballooned the ERA up a little, but prior to that,
lefties have hit better than righties against him this year. 238. Lefties hitting against him, and 203 righties hitting against him as Michael Harris takes time. Reed has been getting hit, though, hit up recently. He had an ERA below 1 earlier on this season. Has been getting hit up recently as he gets Harris to swing and miss on a splitter. Quickly 0-2. Harris is an RBI tonight back in the second. It was a sac fly. Having a really bad season at the plate. But the glove is still good. Payoff from Reed. Harris sits on that splitter, 1-2.
Gave up that 3-run double to Marcell Ozuna in Game 1 of the series in Atlanta, where the Braves would come from behind and win it in 10 innings. Now he's got a 1-2 to Harris. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Splitter misses down again. The count's tied up at 2.
A really tough one that he had against the Phillies. It was only 1 run of his that scored in that game against the Braves when Marcell had the really big hit. And that's the conversation that Francisco Alvarez had about maybe calling the wrong pitch, and he was sent down before this series. And also the 3 runs against the Dodgers.
2-2. Harris fouls off himself again and
jog off and try to
runs a little bit.
Make sure he's okay. He appears
got
to
him.
be.
Looked like right on the calf.
Take a look at where this hit Michael. Looked like it caught the shin guard.
Yeah, I think so.
Actually, yeah, got him on the shit, actually.
About 100 points difference on OPS for left-handed hitters.
It's another 2-2 pitch. This will be the 6th pitch in this at-bat between Harris and Reed.
See Alex Verdugo come off the bench because you're at the lead. You want the defense. You get the better defense from Eli White.
Harris, White, and then Allen scheduled here. 2-2 pitch.
Fouled off
and
again.
Fouls off that splitter.
Reed just been throwing that low splitter. Harris went after it that time, but tapped it foul. Pitch number 7 in the at-bat. Coming up right now. Fouled off third base side. This time it was the sinker. Going low in the count to Harris. Trying to maybe get him to strikeout looking or chase. Yet another 2-2 pitch coming from Reed. Struck him out. Chase the low and inside sweeper. And Reed gets a strikeout to start off this 8th inning.
You will hear that just kept going and got underneath the barrel of Michael Harris.
So the last 5 outs for Mets pitchers have all been strikeouts.
Here's Eli White. First pitch is taken for strike 1. Sinker right down the pipe. Eli White's hitless tonight, just like Michael Harris. White playing out in left. Misses down and inside to tie the count up with the sinker. Eli White's replaced Jurickson in left after Jurickson got suspended for taking PEDs.
Left, 0 for 3.
They're pretty solid this year. Swing and a foul ball back into the glove of Torrens. 1-2 now.
And that looked like a pitch and that cutter up that Eli White would like another shot at.
Another payoff pitch for Reed.
Garrett deals. And he got
Struck him out. Got him to chase the sweeper outside.
Now the last 6 outs.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Reed. 2 down.
All of them have been swinging.
A good sweeper here. Starts on the outside, then just keeps going and going. Eli trying to fight it off, but he couldn't reach it.
And now here's the 9-hitter, shortstop
If
Nick Allen.
Can break the trend. A single in 3 trips tonight for the Braves shortstop.
First pitch is in there, strike one with the sinker.
And 3 sliders.
So 2 times in a row that Reed started off somebody, or a Braves hitter I should say, with a sinker. That was taken for strike 1. Fouled off first base side, and Allen's quickly down 0-2.
Interesting note, bottom right of the screen. Braves' best strikeout differential in baseball.
Descended to the bottom of the 8th.
Tonight, but tonight -7.
0-2. Allen fouls it back.
2 here in the top of the 8th.
So he'll stay alive. Ronald on deck. Leading off for the Braves. Here's another 0-2 from Reed, and he misses outside with the cutter. A ball and 2 strikes. The count now.
Iglesias is warming up in the Braves bullpen. He may have this 8th inning.
The movement in the Braves pen, it's Rysel.
8-9-1 coming up, so it'll be Terens, Beatty, and then
1-2 again. Misses high. Count tied up.
So you're going to have to go through Soto and Alonso again. Hopefully that won't be until the 9th.
Allen trying to stay alive. Reed trying to punch him out. 2-2. Allen hits a fly ball into left field. Coming in is Nimmo. No, he's going to be called up by Taylor, who actually has it, and will go to the bottom of the 8th as the Braves go down quietly. Good inning from Reed Garrett. We head to the bottom of the 8th in Citi Field. 3-2 Braves. Back to Citi Field as there's a beautiful helicopter view of a packed night out in Times Square. New pitcher for the Braves, it's Rysel. 29 games, an ERA at 5.93, 29 strikeouts, 6 walks. He's been hit up this year. Lefties bat 283 against him, righties bat 10 points higher, 293 against him.
And that is certainly good news. They need him.
Bottom of the order
somewhat of an issue. He did not pitch.
That Rysel will get, but he'll also get the leadoff hitter Lindor. Luis Terens, the catcher, will start things off here in the bottom of the 8th for the Mets. Down by a run.
Now he's called in here on June 23rd, game number 77 of the season.
First pitch. Misses outside barely with a sinker. Good eye from Torrens. He's hitless tonight. A ground out and a strikeout in 2 at-bats. 1-0 is just outside again. Torrens really seeing the ball well right now. Fastball from Rysel. Hitters count here. Inside, they'll ring him up. 2-1 on a sinker that was inside but caught the edge of the plate.
Terens 0 for 2 tonight.
Terens shoots it foul, and the count's now tied up at 2. Good job by Rysel to tie the count up. Now can he punch him out?
More of a defensive catcher, but he's
payoff.
with that bat.
Terens reaches out and taps it foul.
And obviously he's going to get much more consistent playing time with Alvarez being down, and you likely will see the offense start to take a turn. It's been a little bit of a struggle so far this year, but this is only his 10th.
Carlos Mendoza watching on as Terens spoils another pitch.
That's not true. I was looking at June, sorry.
I believe Rysel just threw back-to-back changeups.
And I was like, well, he only has a 135 on base. That can't be right. It wasn't right. It was 36 started.
Began the year the starter because Alvarez was out with a broken hand.
Another 2-2. 6th pitch of the at-bat between these two. Terens ground ball right to Nick Allen. Throw to first is in time. Terens will ground out to Allen. 1 out.
A message from Zaxby.
Zaxby's giant chicken finger quesadillas. Get them while you can. Who's got the sauce?
So now the third baseman, the 9-hitter in the Mets lineup, Brett Beatty.
Schwellenbach did not get out tonight. He's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles.
By the way, Nick Allen on that play.
Beatty perfect at the plate tonight. 2 for 2, 2 singles, and he watches an inside sinker just barely miss, 1-0.
Allowed himself to play that one back a little bit. He made sure his feet were under him and then made that strong throw. The door's running, he knows he can't do that.
And his defense
That catches the corner. Painted on the edge. 1-1 with that fastball.
And really, it's collective.
Beatty a lefty, Rysel a righty. Here's the 1-1. Beatty taps it foul. Swung a little bit over top with a changeup, but he did get a piece of it. He didn't whiff.
These guys know how important the first game
Payoff from Rysel. Beatty reaches out, ground ball. Ozzy's got it, throw to first, and Beatty is retired. 2 outs. Looked like it was going to be trouble when it got by Rysel's outreach glove, but Ozzy was there to charge it. And there's 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th, and here is the leadoff hitter, Francisco Lindor. As the Mets order flips over to the top.
Off the bases here, now that we're back at the top.
And
let's see what Lindor can do.
Pretty efficient.
Really good clutch hitter, as everyone knows. He's 1 for 3 tonight. And he was swings out of his shoes on that pitch. Changeup that looked juicy, but he couldn't get a piece of it. 0-1. Lindor is only 2 for 10 against Rysel. Got an RBI against him, but 3 strikeouts, and I believe he uses his timeout here. Yeah, he did. Oh, 1 is ripped right past Ozzy into right center field, base hit. Francisco Lindor with a 2-out single, and the Mets have the game-tying run on the base pass.
Braves do have Dylan Lee warming in that bullpen.
2 outs, bottom of the 8th. Here's Brandon Nimmo to the plate. He is the go-ahead run.
Disrupt the momentum of Rysel Iglesias. I'm not sure he did. It's a pretty good pitch. That's more about.
Well, Lindor's now 3 for 11
Francisco Lindor
against Rysel in his career.
This is Rysel's last hitter either way.
Here's Nimmo. He doesn't have a hit tonight. Back-to-back lefties for Rysel, and that's a sinker inside for strike 1. Dylan Lee is warming up for the Braves in the pen. And Rysel and Dylan Lee started off the season flipped roles. Dylan Lee was the setup man. Rysel was the closer. Rysel's had a really tough season as the closer. So now he is switched to the setup man, and Dylan Lee, who's had a really strong season, is now the closer.
Soto's OPS right now higher against lefties than it is against righties.
1-1 as Nimmo swings and misses at a low changeup. 1-2, 3-2 the score. Atlanta in the lead. Lindor, the game-tying run at first. Here's the payoff from Rysel to hold the lead. Nimmo rips one into right field. Base hit. Francisco Lindor will make the turn. He'll go to third. Runners at the corners for the Mets with 2 out in the bottom of the 8th. And Juan Soto, who hit a 2-run shot back in the 6th, is up next. And I believe Rysel will be most likely taken out of the game, as Lindor and Nimmo's pitches that they hit were very similar. Low and away. At the knees. And Brian Snitker is out there to get rid of Rysel. Dylan Lee will come in with runners at the corners, 2 out. Bottom of the 8th. Braves still in the lead for now. We'll be right back from Queens. Lindor at third, Nimmo at first. 3-2 Braves with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th, and a new pitcher, Dylan Lee, in a tough spot here. Lefty-lefty against one of the best hitters in the game, Juan Soto. 35 games, 1.83 ERA. Lefties bat over 200 against the lead. Righties bat under 200. So, Lee has pitched better against righties, and Juan Soto is a lefty. Big spot here. First pitch. Misses outside with a slider and down. 1-0, counting Soto's favor. A walk means the bases are juiced for Pete Alonso.
Most of the Mets fans, pretty much all of them, are standing right now.
1 offering. That's taken for a strike. Nice pitch from the Dylan Lee there. The slider that catches the edge of the plate. Count tied up now. The Braves now have a good track record in one-run games this year. 1-1 is spiked. Good block by Murphy. 2 balls and 1 strike now on Soto. As Soto does have a hit tonight, a home run. 10-19 the Braves are in one-run games this season. The Mets, 15-11.
One-run games. Atlanta's already played in 29 of them. The 30th right now.
The 2-1 delivery from Lee. Taken. Slider downstairs. 3 balls and a strike now. Soto ahead in the count. 1 more miss and Pete Alonso's up with the bases loaded. The Mets really rallying here in the bottom of the 8th. Corner infielders are in, playing close to the runners. Dylan Lee, check over at the runner at first. Nimmo gets back in time. I think he just needed to do that to waste some time and help himself out there.
Dangling that arm as he always does. Everybody's set.
The 3-1 to Soto. Swing and a miss. Slider at the knees and Soto couldn't find it. The count is full. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th, and runners at the corners.
A great pitch to get Juan Soto. This was one.
Soto swung over top of it. Nods his head.
2 down.
Full count delivery. Soto hits a ground ball, but it was tapped foul, and the count stays where it is. We stay where we are. Soto did already use his timeout.
Well, this rivalry is real, and you can tell it when these 2 teams get together, and you can feel it right now. And the first of a critical 4-game series here in
Full count delivery again from Lee. Soto spoils it the other way. He stays alive. And this is what Juan Soto does. He drags out at bats. The one he had last year in the playoffs against Cleveland come to mind in the ALCS. This will be the 8th pitch this at-bat between Lee and Soto. The Mets 90 feet away from tying it. The Braves 1 pitch away from ending it. The pitch, Soto swings and misses at a slider. He chases it again and couldn't find it again. And the Braves preserve the lead thanks to Dylan Lee. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Atlanta hangs on and stays in front. 3-2. Be right back. Top of the 9th, Edwin Diaz is in the game for the Mets. 29 games, ERA at 2.15, 43 strikeouts, 12 walks, and he has been really good as he always is. But he gets the Braves top of the order. And he gets Ronnie to swing and miss at a slider outside, 0-1. Ronnie's 2 for 4, has a home run earlier tonight. Stole a base and got a single. Swing and a miss. Chase the outside slider again. And 0-2. Now the count between Edwin and Ronnie.
And this one has had that Mets Braves feel. There is no doubt about it.
Payoff.
Nowhere near.
Missed way out there. Overthrew the slider on that one, it looked like. 1-2.
Lights out. .76 ERA over his last 23 appearances.
Reaches his bat out and fouls it off first base side. Looked like an emergency swing from Ronald there.
Pitches that he has swung at all out of the strike zone against Diaz.
1-2 again. Ronald pops it up.
Sends it in the air to right field, right center field.
Tyrone Taylor in right center makes the catch, and there's one out.
So Diaz wins the matchup of stars, and now Matt Olson.
Now here's the first baseman, Matt Olson, to the plate. As Edwin got Ronnie to fly out.
Matt extended his streak with a double into third. He has now reached in
See what Matt
24
Olson
straight
can do.
games. That is the longest active streak in baseball.
First pitch. Slider down. 1-0. Will shifted over is the infield as Olson taps a ground ball foul, and the count's notched up at 1.
To get a little breathing room
It would be
there.
nice. We'd all like that because we know, again, we're used to these white knuckle finishes, and we deserve a break once in a while. It's fun for sure.
1-1. Olson goes the other way. It's going to be foul.
Third inning. And the Mets got that
1
set
and
over
2.
the 6th to make it 3-2.
And nobody up in the Braves bullpen right now. We kind of wondered a little bit. Pete Alonso set to lead off, then you get the lefty McNeil. Sounds like
Payoff from Edwin to Olson. And Olson trying to go the other way again, but once again he spoils it. And
Tremendous adrenaline.
he stays alive.
As even keel as you'll see anybody. I mean, the guy's wearing a sweatshirt when it's 1,000,000 degrees out, so obviously he's not affected by the elements at all.
With the hood on. Says it Breckenridge.
1-2 again.
Make it hotter.
Olson again fouls it off the third base side. The bat extends a little while longer. Another 1-2 pitch.
1-2 from Diaz.
Olson hits a fly ball into right field over McNeil's head for a base hit.
One on and one.
Matt Olson with a single.
Turning around 95 miles an hour here for Matt Olson in a 1-2 count after 4 straight foul balls.
And now here's Marcell Ozuna from the Braves to the plate, the designated hitter.
Now Marcell Ozuna. Couple of walks tonight.
First
from
pitch.
Marcell.
Outside slider,
Top
1-0.
five in baseball in that category as he takes the slider
Ozuna has
outside.
struggled against Edwin in his career. 143 batting average, a solo shot for 5 strikeouts. So 1 for 7.
Against Diaz in his career. That one hit was a homer.
And Edwin gets the call on what looked to be a low fastball, and the count's tied up at 1. High and inside. Missed with the slider. 2-1. Olson at first. Braves ahead by a run. Would love to tack on an insurance run as Ozuna takes a big cut and miss at a slider in there. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. With 1 out, the inning-ending double play ball is in effect. And the payoff.
Diaz fires in and
Misses down with the fastball, and the count is full.
Got a payoff pitch forthcoming.
Olson at first.
Not an automatic. So far this year, he's actually thrown more sliders in 3-2 counts than he has fastballs.
And here's the full count offering. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Ozuna could not find the slider. And Edwin strikes him out. There's 2 outs in the top of the 9th, and here comes Austin Riley to the
Have
plate.
the ability to do this when you're a back-end 9th inning big-time closer.
Like Ozuna was out in front of that pitch.
In even counts where you need to get a strike.
As
Now,
Terrens comes out to talk with Edwin before
I guess it wasn't
they face
necessarily
Austin
done.
Riley, and here comes Pete Alonso to join in the conversation.
What they're going to do here to Austin Riley.
And now Lindor as well.
Triple back in the 5th inning. 1 for 3 with a walk tonight. Diaz, so beloved here in New York, comes out
2 outs, top of the 9th. 3-2 Braves. Olson singled. He's at first still.
Before the 9th inning and got pretty electric inside this ball.
Austin Riley would love to begin a 2-out rally for the Braves and maybe tack on some insurance runs. 1 for 3 with a triple and a walk today is Austin Riley. First pitch.
99
Up and in,
inside.
misses. Ball 1. Fastball. Up and in again.
I think the
Fastball that ran a little bit more inside. It's 2-0 now. Counting Riley's
When
favor.
they're facing Austin Riley, but it's fun to track when you got a 2-pitch pitcher. 2-0 count. He uses his four-seamer 74% of the time, highest of any
The
pitch.
2-0 offering.
in any count, outside of
In there, strike 1 with the fastball. Edwin shakes, now settles on the pitch.
He shook off a sign.
And Austin Riley goes up the middle and it gets by the diving Lindor. That's a base hit. Olsen stops at second. It's a 2-out single for Austin Riley. And the Braves
Now maybe going to the
are in business. 2 on, 2 out against
Throw
Edwin.
the four-seam fastball. And it's got a little bit of run to it. It's not your standard.
He
four-seam.
smoked it up the
It's
middle.
a lower arm angle.
And it just got by the diving Lindor.
And you know he can only shake off once when you have 2 pitches.
If you see him
And
shake
now,
off the second
1
time,
for
don't
3
bet that they would
today.
be just giving you the
Ozzie
first
to the
pitch.
plate. With a runner in scoring position, that is Olsen. Austin Riley now at first. Ozzie a lefty, or a switch hitter I should say. He's batting lefty against the righty Edwin, and he swings and misses at the first pitch. A slider that split the plate, 0-1. Ozzie has a single, a stolen bag, a run scored, and he also got hit by a pitch.
So the middle part of the order.
0-1 offering. Swing and a miss. Fastball blew it by him at 98. Ozzie down 0-2 with 2 outs. 2 out, 2 on. Edwin trying to keep it a 1-run deficit for his Mets. Payoff. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Ozzie goes down on 3 pitches. Slider that he chased. Bottom of the 9th. 3-2. Can the Braves hold on, or will the Mets tie it or win it? We'll be right back to find out. Bottom of the 9th. Dylan Lee is in, looking for a 4-out save. He's got the middle of the Mets order. But to lead it off, it's Pete Alonso, the first baseman, who can tie this baby up with 1 swing.
We'll see whether or not Marte will come out as a pinch hitter in this inning.
Alonso a righty, Lee a lefty. First pitch between the Braves closer and the Mets superstar first baseman is a slider in there for strike 1.
Who they thought might have left after last season, ultimately back on a 2-year deal, but he has an option after this season. 0-1 pitch come.
0-1 offering. Taken. Strike 2. Inside at the plate. Inside edge of the plate.
Over that one on the corner, and now you're thinking if you're going back to that slider, chase down.
Lee can get him on 3 straight pitches. Here's the strikeout opportunity. Alonso fouls it off.
Right at the bottom of the zone.
Third base
fouls
side.
away.
The at-bat extends. The tension rises. Alonso does not have a hit tonight. Perfect time for his first.
Still with the long sleeves on here on a hot night in New York.
0-2 again. Fouled straight back.
And another guy over the last couple of years we mentioned, Soto, same thing here for Alonso against that lefty slider, hitting just 116 since the beginning of last year. But the location matters.
Mets crowd trying to help out their first baseman. 0-2 again from Lee. Misses down. A ball and 2 strikes. Try to get Alonso to chase the slider in the dirt. No avail. Alonso having an MVP-like season.
Lee and Murphy,
Or at least for consideration. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. He chased the changeup. And there's 1 gone in the bottom of the 9th.
Seen a few more of these
Dylan
from
Lee.
Lee lately, and it's
Beautifully
one of the last
executed
things
pitch there.
That opposing hitter is thinking thinking about? Is he going to gas me up 96, 97? It's really about the slider and then surprise, a really well-located changeup. And it looked like Dylan Lee might have shook to that pitch.
I think he did. You want to talk about big strikeouts?
And now here's Jeff McNeil, lefty-lefty, first pitch. McNeil hits a ground ball right to Ozzie. Throw to first, and the Mets are down to their final out. And it's Tyrone Taylor, their last opportunity
Far and away the most aggressive Mets hitter when it comes to first pitch.
to have a chance.
Evening right now. Good amount of fans getting up, trying to get in front of traffic. No faith in Tyrone Taylor.
A crowd of over 38,500, just below a sellout here tonight.
Wow, Mets fans are leaving already. Damn. That's
Taylor's
wow.
0 for 3.
First pitch. Misses down with the slider, 1-0. I'm going to laugh if Tyrone homers. Just going to say that. Not trying to curse the Braves fans here. 1-0 offering to Taylor. He takes a changeup that's dotted up. And the count's tied up at 1.
Important that series was in Atlanta when the Braves swept the Mets.
Tyrone Taylor does not have a hit tonight.
Miami, but a chance to bounce back in a big way here tonight.
Trying to keep it interesting. 1-1 delivery. Taylor fouls it back. And the Mets are down to their final strike. And here we go. This is for the win.
The Mets have lost 8 of 9. Braves trying to make that 9 of 10.
Dylan Lee fires for the game, and Taylor fouls it off third base side. Starling Marte will pinch hit if Taylor can get on.
Back to that slider again, bury it. I know the changeup has already shown it to Taylor once. That's kind of in his back pocket. I think I take another shot with a really good slider, but it looks like
1-2 again. Misses down with the fastball. The count is tied up at 2.
It came up at 91 miles an hour. The changeup earlier was what, upper 80?
89.
Lee's now thrown 20 pitches.
Really did look like his changeup.
Maybe some fatigue starting to set in. But the win's still right there for Atlanta. The pitch. Taylor up the middle. Right to Ozzie. Throw to first. The Braves win Game 1 of the series in New York. 3-2. Atlanta holds on. Dylan Lee. 4-out save. See y'all later. RV out. Peace. Your new closer for the Atlanta Braves, Dylan Lee. Looking elite.